What is going on, guys? Today we are going to be taking a look at Thorgan Hazard's freeze card. He is amazing. I really like this card, and I thought, you know what, I've never really used him too much because he's never had a card that really excites me, and I thought a striker Thorgan, some nice upgrades, let's give him a go. 189k, what could go wrong? Let me know down below, who's better, Thorgan or Eden? Aiden? Let me know down below. So we have got Thorgan here, 4-star, right-footed, 5'9", high attacking work rate with the medium defensive, and he has got a flair trait. Everything else is computer AI. So I was expecting a finesse, I was expecting an outside of the foot, something to kind of give me that little bit of a trait with him. He's got nice pace, 90 acceleration, 87 sprint speed, can't really argue too much there. Shooting wise, 86 finishing, again, very nice. 90 positioning with 88 shot power. It's a pretty well statted card. We're already only 2 stats in, and honestly, he's got good passing. It's above average. It's not quite high up there, but for a striker now, not a left mid, it's a very good card. His dribbling is phenomenal. He obviously isn't the tallest of players, so his agility is superb. I always like to put someone like this with not necessarily a tall striker, but someone who with a little bit more of a presence. I hate having 2 very small players. It's like having a Mertens and an Insigne up front. It's nice and it's fast, but you kind of need that holding player. You need someone who's going to bring the ball down. And personally for me, Hazard, the perfect one, if you got, I think he's a 93 or 94 Lewandowski, perfect. Haaland, player of the month. A cracking card that has the pace, but has a bit more strength about him. Hazard doesn't have no strength. He's 5'9", he's a tricky player, 4-star, he's going to be dribbling, weaving in and out of players. He isn't really going to be going toe-to-toe with Joe Gomez, whereas Haaland definitely can step in on that role. A little 1-2, Hazard's doing all the running, and then Haaland can be there to bag it as well. I think, honestly, I was very impressed with this card. I thought he was efficient. He was very effective with what he could do and really kind of put the nail on the head in terms of being a striker. I'm not a big fan of his 83, and I'm not a massive fan of kind of like him in general. In terms of the generation, last year 86 was the highest rating he ever got, and that was a left forward. He did get a team of the season in FIFA 19, which was an 89 rated right wing, and that was for Borussia Mönchengladbach, which again, Dortmund's nice because of the strong links that he possesses. But let's jump into some gameplay. Personally, the chemistry style first is Hunter. Let's get into it. We are going into the gameplay. The one stat that always concerns me with him, 81 composure. It's not necessarily the lowest, and I've always said 80 and above is absolutely perfect, or at least good enough for right now. But now we're starting to get some really big ballers in the game. We're starting to get a lot of strikers. We have prime icons, many special cards. 81 is slowly becoming less of a thing, but he still manages it. Assists, goals, nice little build-up play. He works hard for it, and he really does quite well. We put him up front with Hee-Chan whilst we were doing, I think it was the icon swaps, because why not? Bundesliga, we still have the matchmaking, and I think objectives is kind of like the real fun way to play with these players, because realistically, they're not the most meta players, and that is champs. If you're going to play champs, I could probably name 5 out of 11 people's players in their squad if they have a decent squad. You know, like the Mbappes, the Neymars. Then you've got Varane, Mendy. Thorgan doesn't appear too much. Maybe as a super sub, definitely, because he is quite a quick player. Does manage to kind of make it in the end of the game. But in terms of starting foot champs, it's just not going to happen. In terms of friendlies, rivals, definitely fun card to play with, something a bit different, and he's got a great assist on him. Really nice assist in terms of passing because of obviously the left wing version of him. So if we do go into the overall, we're coming in at 190 on the Xbox and about 185 to 190 on the PlayStation, fluctuating quite a bit. They are not in packs anymore, and I thought, you know what, I've already done the review on him, I just needed to do the commentary. I want to get him out and basically ask your opinion on him. What did you think about him if you have played with him? And do you run a Bundesliga squad? Because this guy is perfect, and we'll have a look at the Bundesliga as a whole, because we're starting to now get some serious specials in there, making a absolutely cracking team. So we will have a look at that but first, generation wise, 27 years old, been with us since FIFA 13, managed to get a team of the season in FIFA 14, and that's when he made his move to Mönchengladbach, and he had quiet years, a couple of quiet years, managed then to get a team of the season in FIFA 18 and 19, then that gives him the kind of the opportunity for Dortmund, and he got a 1 to watch and 2 informs. It's not the worst in the world, I've definitely seen worse, but in terms of kind of like rating wise, he's not really hitting that nail on the head. I feel like for Forgan, he definitely needs a team of the season if he's going to stay relevant in this game till the end. And we have got the 86 striker, which is nice. I do like the position change. Left mid wise, there's plenty of players you'd probably choose over him. So have him as a striker. You can probably put him in cam. You could put him as striker, centre forward, or you could put him on the left or right wing if you choose to. But in terms of kind of everything else, I think if you was to whack a hunter on him, you do get a pretty good player. Yes, he's still only an 86 striker because the stats read as a left wing. As you can see, 90 rated is a pretty decent player. I think finishing wise is quality. I've personally put him down as 9 out of 10. I think he's got a good enough strike, not quite sweet every time like some of the strikers we've used, but definitely high up there in my opinion. Dribbling wise was fantastic, really enjoyed that, nice, silky. Agility wise is brilliant. Strength was a little bit of a losing battle, and then pace obviously with that hunter is absolutely fantastic. In terms of Dortmund players, if we can go there, there is a lot. Haaland, Sancho, Royce, all of the attacking. We now have a road to the final Brandt, Witzel's flashback. We have Guerrero at left back if you wanted to put him as CDM. There is so many players you can choose from just in his team, let alone going into the Bundesliga and picking out the many specials that we've got, from Lewandowski to Kimmich to Gnabry. That's a card that I really want to try out. I really want to get him for my team, to be honest, but he looks absolutely class. Then you've got road to the final Alaba. There is an endless list of Bundesliga players that are absolutely cracked this year, and I think definitely in terms of links, he's got no problem, absolutely no problem. He is coming in at a bit of a price, and I think that is kind of like a testament to how good this card can be. If he was no good, he'd be lower than that. He'd be 100k at a minimum, just because nobody would want him. There's no demand and there's no supply. So if he is expensive, you know there is a demand for him, but there's just no supply. So definitely try him out. I think he's a wonderful player. He will catch you by surprise. Sometimes it takes a couple of games to get used to a player like this, depending on how your play style is. I personally think left wing is a very good role for him, and definitely in this one is a very well statted. But in terms of putting him as striker, I saw no problems either, as long as you partner him with the right person. I don't think he'll go on his own. I feel like he'll struggle as a one-man striker, but quite easy to have two. Even as a cam that comes up and kind of acts as a striker, but does go back a little bit as well. Absolutely fine by me. I've personally given him a 9 out of 10. I think he's a fantastic player. Let me know down below what you think. Make sure you like and subscribe. Peace.